All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Shai, Ba'ashem Kodash, the millennials to the elders and apostles of great stone. Shalom to the elect pushing this word in truth and in sincerity, with the hope of receiving mercy of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Shai. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father. Yahweh Shai is the name of his only begotten Son. These so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the Israelites, according to the prophecies that are written in the scriptures. I want to make it known that the RFID microchip is the correct mark about in Revelation 13, verse 16 and down, which is the MOTB. The miracle drug is the precursor to the MOTB. Yahweh Shai, whom the world ignorantly called Jesus, is about to make his return upon the earth to deliver his elect and to pour out judgment as is written. So I want to go straight into this lesson, taking a look at what's going on in Haiti, you know. And a lot of people might think to themselves that this is a third world country. It can't happen in the US. It can't happen over there in England. You know, it can't happen over there in Germany. It can't happen over there in Spain. But this is something which is gonna transpire right around the world. You know, and these things are foretold in the scriptures by the prophets that have been before us and before thee of old, as is written in Jeremiah 28 verse 8. But you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans refuse to hearken unto the voice of Yahweh Hashem Shai, sending his servants out there to edify you throughout the week, doing sit-downs on Saturdays. And right now, as I'm seeing it, you have brothers right around the world doing camps more than one time a week. And this is not brothers just going out. This is the Lord moving brothers to do these things because the famine of the word is at hand. And Lars will I do a video on that, yo, because that is what they're coming at next. This word being preached. So I'm gonna bring forward this precept and just go into something that I see taking place over Haiti. This is 2 Ezra 15 verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. And now the Lord put these words in our mouth, as written in Ezekiel 3 verse 1, and told us to eat the roll and go and speak unto the house of Israel. And this is what we're doing, because you have made us to study these scriptures, as is written, study to show thyself approved, a workman rightfully dividing the word of truth. And he's the one that opened the minds of the simple to give us understanding, so that we may declare these things in the ears of you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. So, let's go. This is 2 Ezra 15 verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draw nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition amongst men, and invaded one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. And the last I heard about Haiti is the prime minister was assassinated. So just think about the state where that country is in right now. So let's take a look.
In Haiti. That's odd because they usually ignore Haiti. And then at the same time, the United Nations holding a Security Council meeting and once again pushing for the invasion.
And as I'm talking about the United Nations, Haiti, the people are against the United Nations entering into their country. Or they're against it. And they hear the rhetoric that they're pushing invading Haiti.
of Haiti. Not surprising, we're hearing from the United Nations with all of this international coverage of this gang violence which has erupted this week. So what in the world is happening in Haiti? Is it all part of propaganda narrative? Dan Cohen, our redacted correspondent in Washington, joins us now. Dan, what's going on in Haiti? First of all, let's start with the violence. What happened here?
Well, the videos are pretty gruesome, and anyone who wants to see them can just look on Twitter or Telegram, look on social media. We're not going to show them here, but so people understand what actually happened. 14 suspected gang members, reported gang members, were found in a public transportation vehicle in the Port-au-Prince neighborhood of Canapé Vert. The police were tipped off and found weapons, ammunition with these gang members, and they arrested them, took them into the police substation, but a mob, people outside, actually entered the police station, took them into the street, overpowered them, took them into the street, killed them, and then burned their bodies. So it's a very gruesome scene, but this is essentially what is happening now as the situation in Haiti continues to deteriorate. There's no, the state services are lacking, hardly existent, and the police are weak and overwhelmed and incapable of really taking on the gang problem. So people are essentially taking their own safety and well-being into their own hands. Often it gets ugly and messy. It's sort of vigilante or mob justice, and it's the kind of thing that typically happens in the Haitian countryside in years and decades past, where there has been little state services and little security. So when someone was involved in criminal activity, then the people would get together and essentially do exactly what we saw happen in Port-au-Prince. So not terribly surprising, but absolutely.
Well, the scripture does say, the course of their action shall stand in their power. And you have seen nothing as yet. Wait till there is no food to eat. That is when you're going to see all out chaos, all out civil unrest. Talking about the police cannot police the citizens. Just imagine the times to come when the police and not even can help them own family. You think them go outside and try help the citizens? These are the times that we're talking about. Whether you want to believe it, yes or no, these are the times the scripture may mention of, which are referring to as the beginning of sorrows. And second Ezra tell you what the beginning of sorrow entail. This is second Ezra 16 verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, because that is what famine is bringing, great death, the beginning of wars. And this is a rhetoric being pushed right through these mainstream news media right now, man. At one point, they never made mention of these wars taking place in the world. Even right now, you have a big clash taking place in Sudan. Proxy war being fought between Russia and US, because Russia want to build a military base alongside the Red Sea. But these things are not being talked about heavily on the mainstream news media. Only thing I hear them make mention of is what? The war going on in Ukraine, between Russia and Ukraine. They're not talking about what's going on in the Middle East between Israel and the surrounding countries. That's so many, from Gaza to Lebanon to Syria to Iran. These are the times that we're in. So it's the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. And one of the things where the powers that can stand in fear for is because of the amount of nuclear weapons that these countries possess. Because it's not as one point in time in which a country like America could have brought up these weaker nations, and these nations just take it as it is. The scripture say, yo, proclaim this amongst the Gentiles, yo. Joel, I want to say 3 verse 9. Prepare ye war, wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. The scripture go further to say, let the weak say I'm strong. And now these countries have military devices which can destroy cities, yo. That's why these powers are in fear. The beginning of evils. And fear, you see, citizens take matters in their own hands, take out reportedly criminals out of lockup and burning them in the streets. That's evils, yo. And you're going to see more things being done before your eyes in which you cannot even comprehend, yo. And that's how the heart of man are going to wax cold in these times. What shall I do when these evils shall come? So, you don't want to know what you need to do when them evils shall come. You know what you need to do? You need to prepare before these evils come, yo. Because Ezra's asked this question from the perspective of he's the one seeing the visions, yo. Because Yahweh Hashem Yashai is going to protect Ezra's in those times. Because I'm telling that further along in the same chapter, if I want to say verse 73, it tells, then shall he be known who am I chosen. The Lord tells us that him going to be a guide in the time of trouble. So now is the time to draw nigh unto Yahweh Hashem Yashai, because greater evils than these things we see are transferred now are going to take place upon the earth, yo. Cannibalism is coming back. Best believe it, yo.
Not terribly surprising, but absolutely pretty horrifying images. But this is, again, what we can come to expect. There's also, we can look at an incident back in June of 2022. There's a police commissar named Jean-Ernest Muscadin who he executed a criminal on the spot. So, with just the weakening of the state and the police overall, this is what inevitably kind of happens. At the same time, that happened on Monday morning, and on Wednesday, the UN Security Council met to discuss Haiti, and you had the usual suspects: the United States, the United Kingdom, and Canada, and the UN Secretary General representative, all pushing for intervention, a military intervention in Haiti. Listen.
I would like to emphasize the urgent need for deployment, authorized by the Security Council, of an international specialized force.
The Haitian government and its people have asked for international support to address violence and insecurity.
All the people that we have spoken to in Haiti, as well as agencies outside, have emphasized this one point: the restoration of security.
We recognise the need for a response to Haiti's request for further international assistance.
France issues an urgent appeal here to the international community to ratchet up its efforts. Insecurity in Port-au-Prince has reached levels comparable to those of an armed conflict.
So, when did the Haitian...
I want if I can put the dots together, yo. Because this way say transfer over there in Haiti is by design. They are the one that weaken Haiti's economy, And I talk about the state is weak right now, cannot protect their people. You can see the UN agenda very clearly, yo. Because they're going to Haiti like they are the heroes, They are bringing back peace and security back to the Asians. In which is this new system that's coming now. This is what them plan to roll out. And I same thing will transpire out here in Jamaica when the people them start protest and riot in the streets. The UN are going to put them foot in Jamaica also. And best believe in the leaders out here, them are going to sign off for these things. Because them are going to scare you. Especially big nose. Them are going to scared. So that's just something I wanted you to see. I was transparent in Haiti with that I want to say Kalalal, Yahao, Ba Sheme Hawa Shai, Ba Shamaka Kodash, Shalom.